Good morning, guys. It is 7:51 a.m. Here is your daily dose of hope, and it is the 192nd day I believe I'm doing this. And I just want to say how grateful I feel. I did a Zoom workshop this weekend, and some of the biggest things I got from it, like overall lessons, is if you don't allow yourself to feel whatever goal you're trying to reach, whatever thing you're trying to get, if you don't allow yourself to feel the feelings that you believe you will have once you achieve that or have that, then you won't be happy. Because you're withholding your right to feel happy based on external things coming through, right? And I think this is a human instinct, but it's helping me because I've got my school group, which you're welcome to join. It's called the Conquerors. And the reason I named it that is because I don't do toxic positivity. I don't say, like, if something is hard for you, whether it is getting out of bed, whether it is making a phone call, right? Whether it is keeping something organized, whether it's cleaning something up, whether it's keeping your temper, right? If something is hard for you, I honor that it's hard for you, and I believe you. And that's why I call it the Conquerors, because it's not about trying to make sure you look impressive, right? It's not about, I've made this much in sales. And if that is something you conquered, then that's awesome. But what I'm trying to say is, I see how, because of the way I grew up and because of the way I was treated, it was like, you don't belong until you reach this certain standard. You don't belong until you reach this certain thing, right? And what that does is it divides people into worthiness. And that's not true. And that's kind of, I think, part of my reason for being here is to be like a disruptor and to remind you, you are just as worthy of $30 million as someone who currently has $30 million. It's just true. So, that being said, what's helping me immensely is doing my streaks. And now in my group, what I do every day is I go top o the hour, and I literally picture this little leprechaun with a big top hat. And every top of the hour, check in and be like, what am I doing right now? No judgment, just observation. What am I doing right now? And what it does is, I think I wrote this down, it gives you, I'm calling it like a pivot privilege. Like it gives you the ability in real time to be like, if I'm being honest with myself without judging myself right now, let's say I'm eating 20 Oreos, right? You pause. You don't judge and you say, is that what I want to be doing right now? And if the answer is no, you get to pivot. And it brings all the power back to you. It just genuinely does, right? So I'm just excited because I created a school group because I get so excited about things that I post all the time because I'm genuinely just doing it. And I never want to take over someone else's group, right? So I was like, I'll do it on my own group. And even on my own group, I still have that voice of my family member who used to beat me and be like, it's not about you, it's not about you, it's not all about you. But you know what I'm hearing is that it's helping people. And that is what I'm all about. And one of the things that really hit home to me yesterday during the workshop was this woman that is like an expert in intuition. And she said, do you know how many times I've been laughed at, mocked, right? She's like, and yet I know what I'm talking about. And I thought, you know, And I'm just so grateful because I was on a Zoom with people all over the world. And I had to keep reminding myself, you have just as much right to be on the Zoom as the person who's a multimillionaire, right? You really do. And when we don't think that's true, I think that is what makes us feel like we can't show up to the table, whatever the table is. Like we don't belong. But guys, it's not true. And I want you to think of like a classroom, because I used to be a classroom teacher. In a public school, every child, right? They belong in that classroom if they're assigned to that classroom. Like, that's how it works. And that's how life is too. But we're told, because you know what? What did someone say? Oh, they talked about this massive breakthrough they had in their 20s. And what I realized is when they called and told their family they're doing something different, they got support. So their trajectory never wavered. But that doesn't mean those of us that didn't get that support don't get to still go on the same trajectory. We just might have more, let's say detours, but it's more just like we just might have more to conquer. But we have the same right, and we are just as worthy of our goals as the person who has the goal and as the person who has all the support we feel like we need in order to give ourselves permission to still go for the goal. And I'm saying all this because I'm doing this journaling, and because I'm doing my school group, and because I am doing top of the hour, I am getting like a tremendous amount more of awareness. And I'm realizing, here's another potential pitfall, is I realize that when I start to feel a bit better in the past, I would automatically drop all my routines. Like I'd feel like, oh, I made it. And I'm seeing how, just like with a diet, right? It needs to be a way of life. And that might sound obvious, but especially when you don't have the typical brain, you don't have the typical support, you don't have the evidence in front of you, it takes tremendous, it takes tremendous intention and energy and focus, but it's not impossible, right? And they were talking about that because they were talking about manifesting, and they said, I would set an alarm every hour, and I thought, I'm already doing that, you know? So my goal is always just to learn this stuff, apply it, and hopefully help someone else with it. I'm just excited. Like I said, I have a Zoom at 9 that I'm excited about, and I see how I'm transforming. And this morning, last night was night 16 of Operation Dreamland. And this morning I said, turn on affirmations, turn on meditations, do your tapping. And I did. And I'm like, you did do that. And then I wrote that down. I'm like, you did do that. What's next? Go downstairs, bring this, this, and this. It's like I'm my own personal assistant. And the really cool thing about using the ADHD journaling is when you forget what you're doing, all you gotta do is look back and be like, oh, okay. Like, that's what I'm currently doing. And it really has been a journey for me, because I'll even hear people say to me, you know, do you feel like you're too rigid or whatever? But for me, if this is the next goal I'm trying to do, which is good for me, such as working out, such as eating protein, such as drinking water, such as taking vitamins, such as going to bed at a reasonable time. Those are all just, you know, obvious things, but not all of us are they obvious. Not all of us were they even like granted to us, right? So it's a foundation I'm creating, I'm building. And if you asked me what my streak was, I would not be able to tell you. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about that this moment because I have it written down, right? And it just allows me to keep going. So, anyway, I don't know what I said, as always, but it always comes from my heart and my genuine desire to be the change, to, promote, I was going to say positivity, but not toxic positivity, but more support. I always say I don't need accountability, I need support. And in my group, I'm going to do body doubling sessions this summer because I know that they help. And I can offer that. I have Zoom, and I really like to do what I can do to potentially help someone. There could be someone who finds this one day and like, this is the only ray of hope they get all day. And it's like, I feel honored if I at all got to contribute to that. So anyway, remember, you are the sky. You were here yesterday. You're here today. You will be here tomorrow. And you deserve to be here every single day. And like I said, if you want to join my group, it's free. It's called the Conquerors. And I believe it has 2 exclamation points. And it is not fancy, but it is effective. And I can always add to it, but right now I am still at the end of the school year. Like, there's a lot going on, and that's fine because I prioritize that, which is fine. But it's exciting because I can also do this, So that being said, it's now 8:03, so my goals until my Zoom is to eat some protein and drink some water. Okay. Love you guys. Have a great day.